Happy November, everyone. It's crazy to think that 2021 is within 2 months of being over. A lot's happened this year, and I'm not going to get into a whole lot of it because I like to keep the hot button topics out of my videos just because I don't want to draw any unneeded controversy or anything of the sort. But I do think that the next couple of months are going to shape up to be fairly exciting and or eventful, so we'll just kind of have to see how things go in that regard. So I made a community post earlier today asking if you had any questions for me, and I actually did get a question that I would like to go over. And just as a reminder, I'll try and put those posts out a little bit earlier in the future. So if you have any question at all, please feel free to drop those on the community post. You can also leave them here in this comment section as I do take a look back at the previous month's installment to kind of get an idea there. But on to the question to discuss for today, before getting into some of the other changes and announcements, and I think this question will actually bring us into that fairly well. So the question comes from Skull Spidey, and the question has to do with my upload schedule. It's how do you manage to stay so consistent with your uploads? I'm sure all your viewers would like to know how to stay on top of those daily uploads. That's a really good question, and it's not easy, I'll tell you that much. And I'm sure you've noticed that a couple of times a week my uploads come up later in the day than I'd ideally like them to, just because life gets in the way for me sometimes and I don't quite finish up the videos ahead of time as much as I plan to or would like to. But the biggest thing that I've found that helps me is you've got to sit down and you've got to plan out what you want to do. And so ever since I decided that I wanted to do daily uploads, I made a Google Sheets document and I basically built a calendar in there where I have the months and the days all listed out. And I then go through and pick when I'm going to upload which video. And I try to keep those videos in the same genre for the same day of the week. So as my calendar currently stands, I'm doing the definitive level 9 CPU tournament for Smash Ultimate on Sunday. The Minecraft videos have been on Monday and Thursday. The Golf Blitz Tips and Tricks series comes out on Tuesdays. I just finished up the reviewed and ranked series, which has been my Wednesday upload, and I'm going to keep that as Ultimate Alliance through the end of the year because I do have some really good ideas of things that I would like to share. And based off of the community poll that I put a couple of weeks ago, tomorrow you will be seeing the top 10 best characters in Ultimate Alliance 3. I'm really excited to share those characters with you. Then we have the Marvel Contest of Champion character spotlights, as well as speculated buffs or changes I'd like to see made to those characters, or speculation at the very least. Those have been my Friday uploads. And Saturday's videos I will keep in the same kind of vein as Wednesdays through the end of the year, kind of finishing out some of the Ultimate Alliance 3 videos that I've been working on, primarily the No Buff Rift challenge type videos that we've been doing. So just kind of having a calendar that you can keep your pacing on really helps, and I try to plan out at least a month in advance to have a good idea of what I'm trying to do on any given day. Now, because I've just brought up the calendar, there are a couple of things that I do want to change going forward, and the biggest reason for that is the views in the past couple of months, they have tapered a little bit. And I know that people's tastes and interests change, and so I kind of need to try and go along with that. So I'm going to try a couple of different items. The biggest thing that I feel like I need to do is I need to cut down on the Minecraft videos that I'm doing. I really enjoy the game. The video format that I'm doing for the time being isn't really pulling a lot of interest. And so I will be dialing back the Minecraft videos to just Mondays for the next little bit. And that leaves my Thursday open. So starting on this Thursday, I'm actually going to go into the SNES catalog that's available with the Nintendo Online subscription and play through games that I've never done. I'm just going to jump in first to those games, basically going back as old as available on that console, play around with some of them, and then kind of give my thoughts about how I feel about the game itself. Now, it'll be interesting to see how people react to those types of videos, especially where most of the games in that catalog will be kind of my first experience playing them. So I feel like that will be a really kind of fun retro throwback type video. And then I will be making other changes to my upload schedule at the first of the year, but I'm going to wait for that video specifically to talk a little bit more about that. And that does just so happen to be New Year's Day. So that'll be kind of a fitting video to talk about my plan for the coming year when the year newly ticks over. So keep your eyes peeled for that as well. Now, I'd mentioned last week that I really want to get back into streaming, and I think I'm going to try and start doing 1 day a week. That will either be Friday evenings or Saturday sometime during the day, probably in the afternoon, just because I'd like to start integrating some more of that live type of content to the channel. And I think it's going to be a really good format to test out some other things, especially with wanting to do the Pokemon Nuzlocke series, which I feel works better initially as a live stream, and then doing a recap video for the series that will make it over here onto the main channel. We'll see where streaming goes and whether or not that serves me any benefit. And again, as a reminder, if you're not following me on Twitch, the link to that is in the description of all of my videos, including this one. So if you want to give me a preemptive follow over there, please do so if you haven't done so already. So those were kind of the gist of my thoughts. I know that today's video is a little bit shorter, but I'm kind of nervous as to how the changes I'm making through the rest of the year will play out. So hopefully they do well. If you have thoughts on that, you can leave those down in the comments of today's video as well. Looking forward to giving another update here in about another month. And if there are games that you would like me to look into, please feel free to leave those as suggestions as well, because I want to branch out what I'm doing and reach some new audiences as well so we can continue to grow. Thanks so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone, and have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day.